Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Tori, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. Today we are going to be reading reviews from entitled people. That is right, guys. I found a whole new subreddit and I'm about to make it everyone's problem. Today we are reading r/entitled reviews. Before I jump in, though, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, all the fun things. And also, exciting update on the petition. If you are new here, I have been trying to campaign to impose stricter animal laws in my state. We are ranked among the worst. I had some pretty tragic things happen to my best friend who happened to be a dog. And so you can read all about that down below. We are 38 signatures away from 1,000, which is insane. I don't know what we're going to do after that. I didn't even know if we would get this far. But if you have a second, you have not signed it yet, you can sign it anywhere in the world as long as you're on planet Earth, and it's free. So if you care about animals, you care about the state of Kentucky, you care about me, please, please, please take a second to do that. Evie's law would be a dream come true. I feel like this is like the only thing that I can do to immortalize her and also create some positive change out of a horrific situation. So thank you so much. Now let's go ahead and jump into some entitled reviews. I'm Grace Torrey, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. So I will put them on the screen next to me, so if you are watching on YouTube or Spotify, you can see them, but I'll also read them out for my friends who are just listening. This first one is a 1-star. They blocked out where it said what the name of the place was, but it says, "They're so rude. Was talking to a lady on the phone about my medication. She kept saying, 'Hello? Hello? Hello?' Then hung up on me. I get this can be a stressful job, but please remember you chose this job. There's no need to take out your frustration on customers who are trying to get help with medication." And the title for this one does say, obviously, the employee has an attitude. There's no other explanation, which this kind of cracked me up because the top comment is, as a person who talks to old people on the phone about their medications, their ability to mute their line in the middle of a conversation is incredible, which gave me a giggle because it's so true. Like, I love my older family members with my whole heart. I call them all the time, almost daily, and the amount of times they've muted themselves and I've been talking to them and then I just haven't gotten a response, and I always say, "Hey, did you mute your mic? I think you might have muted the call." And I like genuinely say that because I live in Kentucky where there's a lot of places where we lose phone signal and things like that. So I'm like, is it me? But the amount of times they just accidentally mute themselves is crazy. I don't think I've ever done it, which makes me question how they did it. How are we doing it as much as we are? The ratio is a little odd. But the idea of just literally going and writing a 1-star review is crazy, but also very on brand for like an older woman. I could see some grandmas doing this, like, if they were upset, because, like, let's be honest, they really don't have anything better to do. I feel like my grandmother had a huge increase in the amount of reviews and such that she wrote, like, after she retired, and things started slowing down in terms of, like, her day-to-day. So, honestly, this makes perfect sense. 10 out of 10, we're off to a great start, though. This next one, they cut out the name again. I think it's in it, though. Also, I might not read the title for all of these because this one is just like a TLDR and we're going to read it anyway. Before I jump in to that, though, I do want to say I am biased. I worked in retail for 5 years. I worked in corporate customer service where I was on the phone, and I've been called some horrible things. I've seen some crazy things. I still work in customer service in some way, shape, or form. I try to stay away from it, but it seems to follow me no matter where I go in life. So I am biased, but I do also come with a little bit of knowledge of how, like, stores work. I honestly feel like everyone needs to work in retail or food at a young age so that they understand how to be a decent human being. It's like a canon event for a lot of people because it sucks, but man, do you learn a lot. Let's go ahead and read this, though. It is from 1 year ago with 1 star. I recently made a purchase at an M&S outlet and was quite disappointed with the after-sales service. No receipt was provided at checkout, and there appears to be no proper record or log of purchases kept by the store. When I tried to return an item, I was told that without a receipt, nothing could be done, even though the purchase was just made days before. It's incredibly frustrating as a customer to be left without options due to the store's lack of documentation. This kind of system puts all the burden on the customer, even when the issue stems from the store's own failure to provide proof of purchase. I expected better from a brand like M&S. The manager didn't even bother to ask the status when I finished talking to customer care, and she stood there watching I collect the stuff and walk away. Not sure what to say about this. I was fortunate enough to get quality support from customer care, and they seemed bothered and attentive, unlike the store people. Strange. Store sells the product and do not have log of sold items. I don't know what an M&S outlet is. What I do know is very rarely is there not an option to get a receipt. Very rarely. When I worked, we had the cash register that just spit it out. It wasn't like, do you want a receipt? It just spit it out, and then we would either throw it out or give it to the customer, depending on if they wanted it. Now they have like the little things that say, do you want a receipt? Yes, no, whatever. I will say though, it always cracks me up how customers fail to understand that they are not the only customer that a store has. Like, excuse me, you are expecting the store to keep a log of your item. Did you pay with cash? Because how are they going to do that? Because the transaction will just say cash. Do you have a membership with them? Just like if you genuinely shop at a store a lot and you think you're going to need to return something, get a membership. Like, you know how you go to the mall and they'll say, oh, do you want to, what's your email? Whatever. It helps them out because a lot of times they have to get a certain number of emails for their job, and I don't want them to get in trouble. But if you do need to return it, you usually get receipts sent to the email you provide. So I just provide my like spam email that I've had since I was 12. And if I need to return something, which I don't usually do because I'm a people pleaser, but I am working on it, I can go through even like, for example, if I buy some sort of technology, like through Best Buy or something, and I need to know what model it is or something like that, you can go through your emails. So I don't know if M&S Outlet has that option, but if you don't have like a membership, it's hard to tell. I know the corporate place I worked for had a log of everything people had bought, but they were also spending like $10,000. So, and they were like a technically smaller company. Yeah, it's crazy to me that people don't use their noggins. Like, what do you mean the store doesn't fall to my feet when I walk in and make sure they remember my face and keep a log of everything I've done? But like, if you make it impossible for them to keep a log, pay with cash, don't get a receipt, all these things, then there's no way for them to help you. Also, the other thing, my customer service is coming out. If that poor lowly customer service worker says that it is policy, do not scream at them, okay? Oh my god, my least favorite thing, I actually left a job mainly because of this, is when there's a policy, right? This is the policy. You cannot return things without a receipt. That is what they tell the worker. Do not accept returns without a receipt. Karen comes in and says, I need to return this. I don't have a receipt. Why don't you have a log of it? Da, 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 da. Completely unreasonable. You then, because you're a little scared, go to your manager and say, they don't have a receipt. Can we make an exception? One thing that used to drive me insane, and again, one of the reasons why I left a previous job, is because the manager would then turn around and give it to them, like be like, yeah, no, we can make an exception for you. She was wrong. And like, I get the customer's always right, but don't throw your customer service rep under the bus when they were just being berated and screamed at and called stupid because the customer's always right. Oh my God. Like, it used to drive me insane. The manager would just turn around and like kiss their butt so much and be like, we're sorry, we hope. And I get it. Again, like, customer's always right. It's thousands of dollars, but like, don't throw your employee under the bus in the process. Like, you can say like, no, like, that employee's right. We usually don't do this, but I mean, we can make an exception for you, or don't. Like, it's your policy. A policy is a policy. It's there for a reason. That's just one thing that irks me. Like, don't take it all out on the poorly paid person who's been screamed at all day. Like, their job is to just get yelled at and deal with problems with people who don't know how to human. Oh, it drives me insane. Sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent. But someone did comment and say, I bet you the customer ignored the would you like a receipt part and just like walked away and didn't even respond because they don't seem like the type of person that would be like, no, thank you. Like, they probably genuinely were just in their own world. Another person mentioned they probably paid with cash, so it's not like you can look it up with their card or anything. Yeah. I mean, it could have, how long did they say? It could have been years. It could have been years. I used to work somewhere and they had this policy where it was like you accept every return. So people would come in with shirts from like a totally different store and not have a receipt or anything and be like, I'm here to return this. And there was someone who had a shirt from like 10 years ago. It was crazy. I'm getting on a side tangent. We're going to hop into the next one. 1-star review. Absolutely unacceptable customer service. The nightlife staff was rude, dismissive, and completely unprofessional. They gave no information about the event or DJ, told us to buy tickets on Ticketmaster even though there were no tickets available there, and refused to let us speak to a manager. We offered to meet their minimum spend, reserve a table, and even leave a cash deposit, but every reasonable solution was rejected. Instead of running a professional business, they acted like they were doing us a favor. Out of the 3 employees we dealt with, 2 were arrogant and disrespectful. The only professional person was the shorter gentleman at the door. This is not how you treat paying customers. I would never recommend the nightlife experience based on the staff alone. So that was 4 paragraphs just to say tickets were sold out and they didn't want to kick out other customers to make room for us because we're special. We deserve special treatment, right? It's all fun and games, but if these people were the ones inside that like were being kicked out so that someone else could come in, they wouldn't be too happy about it, would they? They would still be leaving a 1 star. So it's like, let's put ourselves in like the other customers' shoes that were on time and bought it. Like, imagine this was like, guys, when I read this, the first thing I thought was like the Eras tour. Imagine this was a review for the Eras tour. Tickets were sold out and I walked right up to the stadium and they told me no. They told me to buy tickets, but there were none. What do I do? Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. I get it. I've tried to go somewhere and tickets were sold out before. But y'all just need to act right. Sometimes it's not meant to be. That doesn't mean that you need to go harass and like be an absolute menace to society. All right, it's that time of the video where Bourbon comes into air jail because he's harassing all of his brothers. So he's actually going to be in my lap so you can't see him probably, but everybody say hi, Bourbon. I'm glad that you're up to no good as per usual. Some things never change. Believe it or not, he used to actually be the angel and Braxton was actually the menace to society. But now Braxton is like a grandpa. He's considered geriatric, which is really sad because he's 7. So like, he's not that old. Is he 7? He's 6 or 7. I should know that. But yeah, my menace to society is going to sit in my lap now, so he might pop back up. He just wanted to say hi, okay? You want to say hi, guys? He's still around, and he's still an a-hole. The true a-hole of all of these videos, like the ultimate a-hole, is Bourbon. He deserves a award. Maybe I'll get him one day. Guys, maybe one day I'll have him on the set and he can wear like a little like king of the a-holes crown and he'll just be here for all. Okay. I don't know. Is that a good idea? Should we make that a thing? I don't know. We're going to keep reading. This next one is for a full service restaurant and it's like not even a coffee house. Like we're talking a full service restaurant. 1 star from 3 years ago. A friend and I were sitting at a table. There were 10 other customers. The waitress and the manager came up to us, said we had to order something from the menu. We understand that is their policy, but there are other restaurants where we do not have to order and just sit there, visit, and drink water. Well, they lost our tip. And the top comment was literally, it read my mind. This was my exact thought. What kind of maniacs go and sit in restaurants to just hang out and drink water? There is a certain restaurant etiquette that I feel we've lost the plot. Like, they are very fun social things. I go with my friends probably anywhere from like 2 to 5 times a week and sit in a coffee shop and work because we all work from home. Maybe we don't order like 5 coffees, but you know, we order a coffee, we sit there for a couple of hours and that's fine. Like they don't care. It's also a coffee shop, so it's expected people are going to sit there for a while. Some restaurants don't mind if you sit there for a while, but they do get a little antsy if they've got a lot of people, which 10 is actually a lot. I don't know the capacity of like this restaurant. Also, she said they lost our tip like it was a crazy amount. Bestie, your total is $0. 20% of 0 is still 0. And I would hope that you would tip them a good amount. But my guess is that if you're doing this and already being inconsiderate of like the restaurant and what it's there for, you're probably not over here tipping a crazy amount, you know? Guys, if you want to do this, get some water bottles from the gas station and go to the park or go to the library. But make sure you're on like a more social floor. Like there are things I know when I was so poor back in college and my friends and I just wanted to go do something, we would go walk around the mall. And like you don't have to buy anything. You can peruse, you can go in however many stores you want, and they don't expect you to buy anything. Like, sure, is it annoying if you go and move things and like completely throw things around and try things on and not buy them? Yes. But if you're just walking around, perusing, maybe looking at things on the rack, not trying them on if you don't expect to buy them, that's fine. You get your steps in and you're not being a menace to the restaurant industry. They already have to deal with enough. In what? The US, I think like servers make like $2.50 an hour, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong because it's been a while. It's not very much. And they put up with a lot. They do. Also, while I have you here, don't forget to hype the video if you are on YouTube. I think that you can only do it on mobile, but I'm not 100%. It's going to be down there with like the save and the share and the super thanks buttons. Don't forget to hype. If you are someone who is on YouTube and you want to comment how to do it down below, I would really appreciate it. I do it for small creators that I watch, but I forget. My brain just like goes into a different place when I film and I literally have no thoughts. Just no thoughts. So I would really appreciate it. It shows my channel to people who wouldn't see it otherwise. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. Like I can see it. We're about to hit 1,000 on the petition, 2,000 on here. Let's see who can do it first. Like it feels like a race, or we could do both. Wouldn't that be cool if we hit them at the same time? I'm a little chatty Cathy today. I get to go see some of my friends that I haven't seen in like a year, and we're going to dinner so we get to dress up and look cute. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. But because of that, I may be a little ADHD. This next one is about horses, which if you don't know, one of my degrees is in horses. I have a horse. I did pony club growing up. I know way too much about horses, so I'm going to have opinions about this. But the title is Made My Child Feel Fat. And if you are a horse person, you probably know where this is going. 1 star from 7 years ago. I put 1 star because I can't put 0. This place makes you feel fat and insecure. These people are rude and mean. You pay $10 per people and that's fine, but just to see what you have to call just to do the simplest stuff like ride a pony. While you are waiting to get your ticket, the lady up front will close the mini door in your face. The animals are inside the stables for almost the whole day. My word of advice is to save money and go somewhere else. And the owner actually responded, "It's horsepower for kids at Animal Sanctuary. Hello, Katiuska. Thank you for sharing your experience, and we apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused you and your family. Our farm is an animal rescue and sanctuary. We volunteers love and protect our animals to the best of our ability. Your 11-year-old daughter was beautiful, and we apologize again if you felt we were discriminating you or your family in any way. The weight limit on our ponies is 70 pounds. If too much weight is placed on these small ponies, they can get very ill and or pass away. Your daughter, being 11 years old, is eligible for horseback riding versus a pony ride. We offered horseback riding to your daughter, but we did not have openings today, and this is why we asked you to call us to make a reservation. We've been giving animals a forever home for about 24 years, and the love they receive here is exceptional." Very well said. I don't know where this is at, but definitely check them out. Let's actually look it up and see if they're still available. So this is located in Tampa, Florida, and they're still around. That's dope. Okay, it looks like they have Azores too. Zebras are nasty. I hate them. Maybe it's because I know too much about them. They are jerks. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. There was actually like this drama with a zebra that someone was trying to sell a couple weeks ago on the equine Facebook, and it got a little crazy. The drama was a little spicy, but yes. So if you did not know, animals such as horses have spines. Crazy. And they can only handle a certain amount of weight on that spine. So horses need to have saddles that fit them correctly. Horses need to have people that are not above a certain weight on them. If they have like a sway back versus a more flat back, things are different. You shouldn't really like, if they're too swayed, you shouldn't really ride them. There's a lot of things about horses. I'm not going to get too into detail, but weight limits are very, very, very normal for any horse sanctuary or riding stable. It's kind of like a red flag if you don't have one, because it's like, do you even care about the animal? Horses are not machines that we can make money off of, work into the ground, not respect. Like, I will die on this hill as someone who's competed. I rode for UK's dressage team. I still have my horse. I'm going to put a picture next. Like, this whole time, there's actually going to be a picture here of me and my horse because I love her. I got her for my 12th birthday, and I still have her. She turned 20 this year. But because I've seen the competitive side, I've gone to school for it. I've do it casually now, but I'm still at like a competitive barn. I've kind of seen every single side. I also filmed them for a job a couple years ago for like a season. There are some really, really bad people in the industry, and there are some really unprofessional nonprofits where people are stretched really thin and they're really rude. There are entitled people just like there are in any other industry. So, yes, I can see having a bad run-in with a horse person. That is not unheard of. However, they are protecting the animals first. And if that hurts your feelings, you don't need to be at a sanctuary. She didn't call you fat. Like, that is something that is like a really kind of hard to go about because, like, horse riding, if you're at a certain weight, it's like you have to get a whole new horse. And there are people who, like, maybe didn't necessarily expect to gain that much weight. And then, like, it's the issue of, like, are you fat shaming me because my horse looks like they're uncomfortable or they're in pain? And it's like, well, is it the welfare of the horse or the feelings of the person? I've thankfully, like, I'm not a trainer, so it's not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm not going around being like, you look way too big to be on that horse. No, I'm not, like, mean. I don't, not my business. But I have seen it as an observer where it's like, what do you do? Do the welfare of the horse or like the person who's just too big to be on the horse? Like, that's point blank, period. Uh, um, yeah. It's also like a movement thing. So I've lost 40 pounds this year. I was like never huge, but I did lose 40 pounds. And I rode my horse for the first time in like a while. And I felt like it just felt better. Like, it just felt like I was able to maneuver better. Everything is about your relationship with the horse and like your connection. Now, obviously, if she has never ridden a horse before and she's just doing trail riding, it's probably not going to be this extreme. But it's almost like your body molds the way it's supposed to when you are on a horse that you're the correct size to be on. And like, it just fits. So, yes, I went down a rabbit hole. Of course I am. It's horses. It's what I do. This next one is titled 45 degrees Celsius, 113 degrees Fahrenheit today, and Brandon demands his lunch. Oh, also P.S. I will link these down below so you can read the comments. There's quite a few, so I don't know if it's going to be confusing, but I will link them. I promise. Brendan, 1 star from 23 minutes ago. Closed the restaurant in the middle of the day due to heat, and we weren't able to eat. Owner responded, poor Brendan wants my cooks to die for his lunch. So some more context. It was the hottest day of the year at one of the busiest restaurants, and the AC was broken. So the cooks were suffering heat exhaustion, so they closed the restaurant. They couldn't make it work. And Brendan's a little upset because he is hungry. He's a little hangry, guys. He only has 3 reviews. I don't know if that's worse, that like he isn't a review person but went out of his way to do it for this, or if he's one of those people who gives reviews on everything. I don't know what's worse. But someone did comment, and I kind of agree with this. My guess is that Brendan would have also left 1 star if the place was open, but he was sweaty and the staff were drinking water, which is true. I think if he would have seen like a sweaty staff member, he would have been like, this is unsanitary, or done one of those things. Like, staff are miserable. Staff didn't look friendly enough. God. This next one is titled, No Treats, I'm So Sad. 1 star from a month ago. This is from my dog, Lupin. Today we went to Home Depot at blank. We go there a lot, and it is a generally nice store. I get a lot of petting there from many of the workers. But today, when we checked out at the pro desk, I asked the woman there for a treat, but she didn't have any. I'm not sure why. I was definitely a good dog, maybe even the best dog, but no treats. So, no, I'm pretty sad. I usually get treats, though. I guess they're just not consistent with their treat policy. I wonder if Lowe's gives treats. I may have to lobby for Lowe's next time. This is crazy. This is crazy. So, first off, somewhere that you go often, you are now giving a 1-star review over a minor inconvenience. A minor inconvenience. Like, they could have just run out. Maybe the treat budget is a little thin. Maybe, like, the worker provides treats on their own accord, like they out of their own budget because they want to be a nice person. and they probably don't make a ton, so maybe they're waiting until their next payday. There's a million and one reasons why they don't have treats. Not one of them is a good enough reason that you need to post a review about it. So also, second thing, my pets have social media. I kind of have been not great about it since Evie passed away because I'm really sad and all of them are hers. Like, it's her name, it's her thing. So I post here and there because I still post my other animals, but I'm not like ready to rebrand or anything. So, but because of that, I know what it's like to have to like kind of make captions for your animals, like POV, this does that. I've been there. This is cringe. I cringed. I visibly cringed. This is a lot. It would be funny if it was not as long and maybe on your private Snapchat story and like a joke review, but you're leaving an actual 1-star review on a business, and that makes me think that you're being dead serious. It's Home Depot, so they're probably not going to suffer from it too much, but it is crazy. That's actually insane. Also, if it's cold outside, you need somewhere to take your dog. As long as they are well behaved, they're not going to go to the bathroom in there. Obviously, they need to be potty trained. They're not going to bark at everyone. Home Depot and Lowe's and Hobby Lobby and Home Goods and TJ Maxx are all pet friendly. You're welcome. But well-behaved pets only. A little side moment, we sent Luna off to get training. He's our German Shepherd Akita. We sent him when he was like 8 months old because we just wanted him to get like that extra step to be able to do all the cool German Shepherd things. So he already knew how to like sit, stay, all that. This was just like the extended version of training. And they actually almost fully exclusively trained him in Home Depot and Lowe's. It's a really good place to train your animals. I'll share a picture. This was one of like the progress pictures that they shared with us. I know they actually took him to like the park and things like that, but a lot of times they trained him at Lowe's and Home Depot because he was already well trained. So it was a good environment to like take that next step. He's nervous around people. It taught him to be more social. So yeah, they are really great places to bring your animals, and it's actually very common to do so. But don't take your animals there if you're going to complain about them not having treats. They don't need to give you a free treat. Also, don't take them there if they're going to be menaces to society. Decade-long customer of bakery with quote-unquote unbelievable cakes. Customer moves out of state. 2-star review because bakery doesn't ship cakes. Let's dive into this one. I met Sherilyn 10 years ago at Cafe Sweets. This was after having the best coconut cake ever at Howley's in WPB. She has made me numerous cakes through the years. Unfortunately, I had to leave Florida. I've made various attempts for her and staff to send me a cake and was first told they don't ship and then advised we might begin using Goldbelly. I explained that I would pay any shipping costs after told every excuse possible. I've realized Sherilyn can't be honest with her former clients. Sherilyn should understand that her business would only prosper more if she actually shipped her unbelievable cakes. Well, I found there are other bakeries that will make me great cakes in the South. Good luck. Bestie is expecting her to change her entire business model to ship her a cake. This is another thing, like, if you are not a businessy person, you don't understand, like, how businesses run, you may think that this is easy. Like, you may be thinking, oh, she just has to ship it. It's not a big deal. No, it is, because reading this, there are so many things that came to mind. Shipping cost in general. It's gonna, unless she gets, like, a whole mail subscription thing for her business and pays to have like discounted fees, it's probably going to be more expensive, which she said she would pay the whole shipping cost. Okay, whatever. She has to buy all of the shipping materials and make sure that her cakes are able to do that. Maybe this includes changing the ingredients a little bit to make it more suitable to travel. Maybe this includes having to add more rods inside of it so that it's sturdier. There's a lot of time and like experimenting that goes into it. Not only that, but she has to maybe get permits to be able to ship food in her state as well as maybe the state where she is shipping. She has to make sure the laws are okay with her shipping cakes in that state as well as the cake or as well as the state she will be shipping to, as well as like the country. There are a lot of things she has to abide by. And on top of all of that, she may just not want to because she doesn't want her reputation damaged by the quality of the cake not being up to par if it's shipped, which I understand. Like, I have been DIYing like crafts and stuff, and I'll make like bookmarks and stuff. I'm so picky about like the ones that I actually sell because any little defects, I'm like, I'm a smaller, like, I don't really do it anymore. I used to do it, but I like sell them here and there. But I'm like, I don't want me to be associated with like half done or messy crafts. Like, I want my stuff to look professional, even if it's homemade. So I understand, like, maybe she just doesn't want to put the quality of the cake on the line because I guarantee this lady would put a 1-star review instead of a 2-star if the cake came melted or not up to par or didn't taste like she wanted it to. So, yeah, you're literally asking her to alter her entire business model to offer something for you. She would have to do all of that for one person. And if that's not a direction you want your business to go in, ultimately you have to think of the profitability and the pros and cons above that one customer who's asked for it. And maybe more have, but still. Let's read one more. I thought this one was kind of funny, so we're going to end on it. This is a review for hair dye that apparently has the power to destroy lives. 5 stars, by the way. Lost my job because of this. I accidentally left this in my hair overnight and it poisoned me, and when I was delirious because of the poison, I posted something inappropriate on my church's Facebook page, and my boss is a member of the church and he thought I was hitting on him, and he called me and said, "I am a married man." And then I got fired. 7 people found this helpful, by the way. I thought that was hilarious and a good one to end on. The people that found it helpful, you're my type of people. That was hilarious. Also, there is like an edit. It is a semi-permanent hair dye, not a processing or permanent dye, which is probably why she's not complaining about being fired and bald right now. But that's hilarious. I hope that you guys don't dye your hair anytime soon and then accidentally make some inappropriate comments on your church's Facebook page about your boss. I really do. I upload every single Sunday and Wednesday. If you want to stick around, I do all things Reddit, story times. I've been venturing into doing more things like this where it's kind of like reaction-ish. Let me know what you want to see more of. You want to see more mother-in-law stories, weddings, entitled reviews, entitled people in general. I am at your service in terms of themes, so let me know what you want to see more of and I will get it done. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, sign that petition, hype, all the things. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the flippity flip. Bye guys. Love you.